Hello, this is Monba Richie, head of EG Liberia, and we are here at the EG Forest. We are about to have a very important interview with Orando Sokar, the head of our culture department for the everyday Gandhi. This guy is special. He's involved in everything that we do when it comes to the PC, the traditional work, the culture, dance, and the drumming, and also it's very special kind of traditional music that we call jingly. Besides that, he's also responsible to fix all He's responsible for making all of these drums, and he also repair all of these drums. So we are about to find out a little bit from Orlando about these material. It's very important. They go years back. Be the interview. He will be actually speaking his local dialect, which is Loma, and we will later do a subtitle for the Jaraban audience. Thank you. So Orlando,
Yeah.
uh, the first question we have for you is how you read it. When you joined the cultural troop, and what we also want to know what are this thing, what are this is in your family. That is, if there are people from your background, maybe your father, your grandfather, that you learn from. But how did you learn all of these things?
Okay. Amogiaga ngize peju time Orando Sokar. Gibli ni fani maga na de ga dongo. Gamazo we gwizo time 1980. Na zuwagi anini lo pa ma wolinda. Ka gadie ni goke Georgini Devega Karatenga and go to better Tijeke Karabiani Kawa Kurani so go to no air dongwa. I must now my language you 10 years Bobogi Eka Grandma Wodiga Velisa in my language we are Jugama I am Lieutenant Gani Mauri Eka Gijete Mauri no Tabena Naya Gage got to a gasol giver to I Kenny go agite ngani sigini so go bagya gasusa ha isu kweva sagli carry so la ni tekani tuete su nkocha turugiziwe lo magujo to agaje ma blani gola albegi ka abo ni bla obo ya bla agi busu nuru na pegale pedi pove ya gwi mena nama so to ya kega bla ni gola albegi ni ba opeta su kani ni aga tuaga anitaga tua nakpagi puru ni na gulu bigi ya gani ni na seko bera ni ega tipedwe te mayiki blanigi ni ega tipete mayiki blanigi ka ninga su buya ni timake ni leli ni tani ta pule ni tipe alezia na wu blanigi ai tuwa pa ja mamura ni loze na ja ga keni wilo ni ma blagia ni woda ve ga tuwa gwe be tipe su pon tuwa ga sibu ga ni type ka ga ba fia ni ya kele ga jabu go power su so tuwa ba ke gibli ni kan e ga ni better value ke gibli ni carry zo saga glisa ko bele ma nwa glai na ga tuwa tasa na zuwa go gain de blani sa ba lo se ni go poti twino ga ma ba disi ade fetere Nula yekalani. Nula yekalani gavezi ekakani ba. Picture no wa. Gepedwe ega gini wala juba. Gamamo gisa ya wuro. Flesi ege sara. Gia kezi ha. Gijingli ni ma set gizolo. Go ma set gizolo. Zuro samlo ga. Kwe ba banga. Gaba gana ti papuzi yirizu. Gazana gele. Gili salala. Glimlo. Gizimlo gabo egema. Ade tabete. Kigisa salala. Nama gini saga. Yeah, 2003. Nazu saga na. Go on belozi. Gija sani yevla. Yekezuba. Yesu. Ga kojo tuba zuru wa bogi. Ewo ninga kombitara enye gemado. Toma EWF. Na go bogi kwa inaga. We kojo turugini aniga su. Na to anu go betie gema. Ayilo. Ze fawoni. Ze fawoni ga to ze blani sara. Era ode. Ekpete egare. Adina mani wa uklosu. Namazu nanu amro katisini. Kiambu nazu nyengre. So tuweba. Nazu waka ga kojo turuvani zuru gala. Geba amno beble. EGP na EGP so ga sa ja ka ba sa di san tipete kani. Gije tipete kani ga go soburu ga. Geze ge katije ma ye. To sa keru. Ka kombi ma matiesu ma EGP. So tuweba ga yo keni ga de peteni. Keni ge pete ga ko de gani nobe. Gazo. No pete tuwa ke atwa. Tisi ga purutie ma. Yilo na enuma alapo. Aba sena ma bi eti pete su. Na bla ganati ko bo ga su ga ga ye dungu ti klapo. Ni to ka gumna yima. Ko de fani tima. Chagizi. Eni wetega. Ni aga nganita. Guiga te. Ni na sangi ga ye. Ni alo magudu gaje ma tani dengi. Tani dengi. Eni baka ni aga tamano. Kala ni ba ni aga je ma sege wa na roga wuje taguruma ni ala goro wosu ni kaga sege ni ba kaga je ma tani zubugi mazubugi ni aga gola lu ki tipetizo tuma.
Okay. Orando?
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to do the questions step by step.
Yes.
And we go back to 1980. You say you started learning the culture troop in 1980.
Yes.
And you were learning from some of your elders.
Mm-hmm.
That was before the Civil War.
Of course.
And you also talk about probably the carry in Central Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
Was it under the culture ambassador, the National Culture Center?
No.
What were you doing at carry?
We went there. We were running away from the war. We went there. The displaced left.
Okay. That was what I wanted to get clear. He was during the war. He took off from Voinjama to carry, but they were displaced. He didn't really move to carry because, like, he wanted to learn about the culture, but he was displaced.
Of course.
And then you used to watch people culture, other culture through performance, and you learn from their performance. Like they didn't really train you how to do it, but you just watch them and learn. That was a clarification I wanted to get. But then we come to the main question, Orando. How did you learn how to face these drums? We know this is something difficult.
Yeah.
How?
Sola lesia, gadiema, mishinganive, mishinganilade. Go bo kwa the sola bogi. Urini, gabo gaje gain. Gaje play. we just water. Mission la de ga place we 30 ba. Na gaje bola pumagli beka ga klegli ka bo gro ba gisuboy nga pago then kole ni e patasu e ga kani gaje da yewu to ya bena gadi ni koli gasu jama vlazu e before e yesu eni bega e ka ni mu kole le su gadle eni mu fere eni pefere jabagana manja kole be no saga eni bloga bubli e te ga mazuli esolosu kala kuligai buzi kuligili na tino ga tunyo si amatu na solaita sawana.
Yeah, well, I would also like to understand how whether the drums are made from the same material, wooden, like say some wooden trees and everything. But one thing we really want to understand: how come all of these drums have different sounds?
Okay. Nang ablusuga ni leni nagi ani matwaga goro blangi ni lugi ni nedei peli eni wasula tipeta naga gable ni ya ni lugi yo telaga gable jana ni lwa keni ni blagi gwita goyebu ni wile ya mesu ni nedei bakaga ya ni we mena eni we mani teleboni taga glegle pon ja sole betia ni manewega emoe ni ba ja fona ta twa ba jara mwenga keni eje kowo vlini rugila igiga sinatu jani ma mwenga twa flona ga MST de nizu eni wemla eba mrobe ni ba ja ma mwenga kwega ni we timega fagla so twa bia tipe geje gulo gezu gete gema mwensu igungiba ni nede petasu ni dia ga e ma mweni e ba ni erege ni rugi wo ba tipeteba ni kani ni rugi wo ba tipeteba pon nede bina pe ja ma mwena la tana pe glebe ga guiga zitiniru.
Thank you, Orando. And we got two different set of drums here, right? We got the one for the traditional music and the one for the cultural troop.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that if we would separate them, the one for the traditional music, the jingly, go one side, and the one for the cultural troop, because we also come to the one for the traditional music. So we can see these are the drums for the regular cultural troop, and these are the drum for the regular cultural troop. And so the one on the left, that's the one for the traditional music, and the one on my right is for the regular cultural troop. So Orlando, my next question is, what have been the road of everyday Gandhi? We know after the war, most of our culture disappeared with the war. People were displaced, material were destroyed, and we have not recovered as a country. Even the National Cultural Center before the war, they used to have performance from every county. Like people will come from Lofa, Bon County, Maryland, Sano, all of those things. Even the government, with all the resources, can bring those things back. And everyday Ghanaian came in to start from zero. Matthew, we put a youth, especially brought people, put the ideas together, and make these drums and start providing training to other people. So I just wanted to ask, what could really happen if it wasn't for Everyday Gandhi that came in and helping you to put people together? What could happen to the culture? Because we know, like, if you go to Foya today, you're not gonna see the cultural truth. If you go to other towns and villages, so what could really happen? You think if everyday Gandhi had not come in?
Mungiaga munga gafari everyday gadi mu ivani nga tonla ivani ni za gada uza ga bena za talabu ga gija da mane ba gija libla ga gija kiri daga numa amongi mukana kala to kwe mungo ba no fia every no suo gye manima mungi ya sa ima ni flo kojo tugi ni demu na ni mungi ya sa ni tuwa kaza zafuli ni mabla zaza gaga fa ina wa keni everyday garden was a keri gaza bu gije ba tenga tosi ta tenga nisu ka tu ya sali ni taba nugi akaje ga olina ya juga feta elesu ogoso viva ga ebna viva ga fago ka jana fa ne maru owoni abo bi atebana ke una tipetali na traditional agiti petili bule mazafuli ni mamina za dona Gomogi mukara bi gogli to the coverema Gawan Titivani, Gillian Titivani, Govana Buru Sa everyday garden lane Vani Savru got Ele Martin Lord of Lita Gant Kitjeri Tafeta Matigivina Gligina Mane so Namalangizu 2 Yasadini all the time Walina Eatica Fetaga Oya Vaduga Fetaga Evaru Bozu Lofa with a balabra uni wakomala. Kani Niabaza etabetebe, Wapetena, Kabedigani, Numata Samo Guru. Tavana kana Gatia at a tetligata. Can whatever need you all pete, Jadi Lamine, and the other done a pe. But why care? Everyday garden levani Davalaga, Cocho Guinea Bukea Basilizu. Togaga Fadiga, to Eva, Kamazu. Twasabadu, the follow this work by.
Thank you, Orando.
Yeah.
You just explained the role of Everyday Gandhi. So, Orando, what have you and let's say Everyday Gandhi as an organization been doing? So the culture can die. What have Everyday Gandhi really been doing to pass this knowledge up to the next generation?
Okay. Gayama, Amongiaga, Gayama, Everyday Garden. Gatena kojo tulungwiti alafu aka kojo tulungwa ngiti pin ega giti yero kama mongi mukadega tebani ndlega kama mongi zara mongi na ogoniga nike zara na te modigiti lo magiti giziti baditi tegepe gebeba yaga fagla na mazara broni na yinga plisu zaga ogoni kapagula me lanige gula me adena ke etozi sa na malangizima everyday gadi bema gulunguti doi tiaga gya na malangizu geja agiwo follows is work by na malangizu kamazu no lakwe na odle to wani visa keno yita atani vino ga gafe dunguti ya toka gra to ga tema maga ni malangi sagisu geti peka na malangi zu ga ge mano na sini jeti to ne teba ta ga yabe to ba ta ke zu ga pago to pili gi bogi sa nye gema pili ke giniti ge pede go to se ge everyday gadi na malangi everyday gadi bani ba ge pili ke gini lo sini Gia kezu ga grama maga vesa nye go frogana taga ge pedwin gema irigi zolo gasa gola gema irigi zolo gasa ga veli no pin kombi ma onega eziela ze kasa ge pedwin ka gema irigi des la boya ezi la kama ngbe ma me na weche mo ebe ga na balo kwa ti dwen kama na malangizu plesene peboga na malangizu ga everyday garden ban ganine eso ni kri the green va Nata fape ita gizu. Tozi zibe akpai. Kaga faliga. Changini ma bele yeke. Culture true. Tije kwa babe. Dungu waya skulu badu. Gulungu ti pedre geti pengi tije takwa babe zugia. Telati mlango gabo we. Tije kwa babe gea. Telati mlango gabo we mlango. Galati su tije kwa babe na tizea. Tije liga kweli na tije mission ya weteba. Yita pro tai naga mission na tiple tu monizia na tibega. Kapa glap la man nefia monte ne pelefia. Kwa ka kwa betana. Ga kombi fizu. Tati ziaga. Maybe yita mambi abadu badu. Kamu no ya. Get the pattern in the le.
Thank you, Orlando. So most of the people you pass in the knowledge the training, they are on young people.
Taga nunia.
And how many times are you doing this culture training?
Gaja kaga do gligle sibuli.
Oh, how many times?
Oh, how many? Twaga ta frugo Voinjama be basago.
You can name the towns, Orlando?
Yeah, get ala globe Johnista, Taragia, Laurazu. My headquarters aga Voinjama.
Thank you, Orlando. Besides the culture training in Johnstown and Laurazu and Voinjama, what are other things that everyday Ghanaian providing for the children, the members of the culture, the children that are being trained to be able to take over?
Really no gia bonina. Diama dunguti doing take ya. Mama gumu kadega school vai. Schooli. Te dunguti tibega school do. Then telati moro. Teacher boteba. Si tiba tell school do. Teacher boteba ni tuake ga teacher fable pregaya. Can you do some down? Kojo tulungu atipe doing. Tabo sutuaga school apa. Telati moro gaga bosera. Gele ga mamole wo tejino mapa gibia. Gligi bo magliga pago ni tuake ga bela genya do. Agizu de glaka ga glamu e kulo ba do glegle. Every gadi de kegebe.
Orlando, I got another question before we move on. All of these performers and the fixing of the did they have any spiritual connection? Like maybe something to do with your ancestor or some spiritual thing, like things that gave you the idea, the strength and everything? Does they have any spiritual connection?
Ninede Gamazu ba ganye petani zege petani zia ega ke fabali gogo na ge petani zia ke na blaka ganye lone club mo na lu matun ge petani no ga yita vano odino ke ni bobogi gana ya ga galani bobogi ga go kwega aga de mawoli ne bobogi bobe niwe niya Gamazu Golani. Dese ebega ni toi ni ayizia ma ke mazubuna titi gogo boale ma de plastic gibe no kloka giya toi go mawoli sala yesu ha bozo kan nede ya kan ni bobogi ya ni again lani yizu ga mawoli ni toi.
Wow. So some of these drums, like you said, you did learn how to fix some of these drums in your dreams.
Yes.
Especially the two in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You can just hold it so easy can get it. Like these two in the middle, like he said, he actually learned how to fix these drums through dreams. He dreamed about it, and whatever he learned in his dream, he just got on and apply it. That's how he learned how to fix these. Thank you, Orlando. I mean, you can think about any question that you need to add up?
No, I think maybe what with the cultural activities when you get to the family. Orlando, with the cultural activities now you are engaged in with everyday Gandhis, is there any contribution to you and your family in pressing?
Among yaga Kawula Mandle cultural trigizu Tuaga a cultural trigi gaga family gla. You get to doing, Kawula Meagadle. waya adi yilo ade ni tenga ni pe boba ni tuake fa ni zuwolo adazo ade kaga zabu kante gi tenga ni te ga fa we ga so na luma ton bon ga wula meta amroga kombe le meno nu we no be le woni no ele webe te kaga zabu ga blaba gile ge daga numa zuri gi tazo.
Okay, well, this one a general question. This one maybe you want to sit down a little bit. That would be fun. This one a general question we're going to pose to everybody. What were you doing before meeting Everyday Gandhi?
You know, got Bragadi and Zaza got a Bragadi and the Cavalier Gila, but Bragadi now. You got your Topagio.
So, how did you hear about Everyday Gandhi?
Yes, I got to a move over.
No, how did you hear about Everyday Gandhi?
The Everyday Gandhi, very many and nothing in Covalema, Salala, Fabadi over Gruana, Nadu Guinea Mawudiana, Tasia Mongina, Gatoboni, Tigrini Glee, now, Nadu Massani Jelly, Pelave, Fit Allen, Mawana Pelave, or Flower Sugar, Everyday Garden, Everyday Garden, Namalangi or talk it out of Jingly Nilo. That book is a line, not free. Take out of glue, came on Gabam, Beverly. Beverly Black, take out of Glagla. Oronisa, Esusagi, Novenisa, Gana Topabusu, Gratia Matia Voinjama, and Wagga found when the boggy Everyday Garden of father.
Thank you, Orando. So, what improvement have been made in your life since coming to Everyday Gandhi? And how could your life have been if you, like, let's say let me see how to put this question. You were a farmer before coming to Everyday Gandhi, and how I'm thinking how your life was gonna be. Let's say if you had not met Everyday Gandhi, if you had not come to Everyday Gandhi.
Nunaya, Davalaga, Namalangi, you play la Katuaga, a gada tablaga is a yitu nuvaga, Nimani azo, Ekala Tuablaga, Gribla Voinjama, Natalena. Play again, Langa, Lenga, Everyday Garden, Gamazu, Nayagin, Tona Macbragali, and Zebra Bakuma, they are Gagla. So, Davalaga, Unga, Everyday Garden, Lane Vani, Blizago Boatla, where grew up Papagis Yauka, Gagoya Cani. Two of black froggy like no. Ebenaga. So, Nightagi, grew up Gakoni, New York, the Koniga playtime music because the bagger got man went. I know you couldn't get to man on I guess you what you have. Egg
So, have your role in your community, like in your village, have your role changed for the better since meeting Everyday Gandhi?
Voilà. Malvege got Pago. Malvege not as we a Malvege. Peno Gulivana. When a Peglivana, a Maglende, Gabona Numaga, Sally Zevi, and a Peglivana will be a gap. Pago because Everyday Gandhi, Yaga, Guligi, and Derogati, when a Pedivana will have your Tejamona.